Peace and harmony, family. Let me wipe my screen off. Ooh. Peace and harmony, family. Let me put my headphones on. Oh, there we go. Peace and harmony, family. Peace and harmony, peace and harmony. We got some stuff to talk about. Today. Peace and harmony, peace and harmony, peace and harmony. We got some stuff to talk about. We're going to be talking about men and their importance when it comes to birthing, what role they play in birthing, and why their role is very, very important and vital to their legacy, and why it's important for um, what's going on in pregnancy, and why we need y'all. I'm gonna let a few more of y'all come in. How y'all doing? How y'all been? How y'all doing? How y'all been? Happy Mother's Day, or um every day is Mother's Day. Happy blessings. Happy blessings. Blessings to you all. Y'all, this is like my go-to yoni. After I do a yoni thing, this is like my go-to like yoni uh I don't know. It was a skirt and I cut it up and I just started playing with it. So this is like my go-to outfit. You know, you gotta let her breathe. So this is like my go-to yoni thing. Good afternoon, good afternoon. I don't know if I want to put my hair up or put it back, put it down. It's giving. I want to put it up. Whatever. But anywho, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Um, are you in need of a virtual assistant? No, not at the moment. Thank you, but no, thank you. We're gonna start talking about birthing. And we're going to talk about why it's important that our men are very aware and actively present, not just present, but actively present when it comes to um, birthing, because I know our men have been conditioned to think that you just be present and that's it, but no, it's more to it. Okay, you have to be more than just sitting there and just waiting for the baby to come. You have to know actively what is going on, because when I think about this high maternal mortality rate when it comes to Black women, you have to start thinking about everything that's happening, from the midwives, from not only the food that we consume, but we have to start thinking about the support that we allow into our space. Like, are you really being supportive, or are you just here to critique what goes on? You never had any studying, or you've never even gone into the field of birthing, but you're just here to critique. So we don't want that around. So um we need to be actively aware, and we need to start talking on this stuff, because one of the reasons that we have this high rate is because our men don't know what to do in this case. So we're gonna start talking about that. Hey y'all, how are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? How are we doing? How are we doing? Y'all had a good Mother's Day, a Mother's Day weekend. How was your Mother's Day? Shout out to all the moms. Shout out to the active moms, because just because, thank you. Ah! I appreciate that. Just because you're a mom don't mean you actually mothering. It's a difference between having a baby and actually mothering, actually fathering. It's a difference, whether we know that or not, which I'm gonna be diving more into that as we go continue with building and things of that nature. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it up. It's hot as hell outside and it's hot in here. Y'all look at this. See, this is why you need to wrap your hair up. But anywho, let's get into it. Let's dive into it. Um, I just want y'all to really understand that when it comes to birthing, when it comes to um, pregnancy in all, whether you're trying to conceive, whether you are um, in the literally the process of pregnancy, and if you are going through postpartum, because we're going to talk about postpartum a lot today, because postpartum is where we as Black women, where we experience um, most of the mortality issues, whether it's in infant or it's in woman. So what I want, if you got a piece of paper, make sure you got paper. You know what I'm saying? You might need to take some notes because it might be stuff that you have not necessarily thought about. And and this is very key, and this is something that we all need to be actively aware of. So we're gonna start off with my notes. Where my notes? We're gonna start off with oh, here we go. We're gonna start off with why it's important. Thank you so much for all the love. I really appreciate it. Um, we're going to start off with the conditioning part, because a lot of men have been conditioned to just be there and be present, just, just look, you know what I'm saying? Just look like a lump on a log, you know what I'm saying? They telling, there we go. That's a little better lighting. Sheesh. But, they sit here telling men nothing. Like, men, you'll be surprised how many men are really clueless when it comes to pregnancy, because they feel like, or we've been conditioned to think that birthing and pregnancy is solely just upon the mom and the women in the family, but it's really a community thing. It's really a village thing. Doulas, or what you would consider your traditional midwives, um before all of this modern day medicine and all of this new age stuff, doulas were actively in the community. Fathers and mothers were actively in the community supporting every family on in their block, they neighborhood family members. They were actually supporting them, and not supporting by just showing up. They were actually being active in a mother's pregnancy, even in her postpartum stages. Like, people don't understand that birthing is like that whole process. A woman is breaking herself down spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. She's breaking herself down. She is actually being rebirthed, transformed in this very essence as she becomes a mother. And I know, we can think of mothering as, it's something that's innate in us, but you really don't experience it until you have a child. It is so completely different. So, with that being said, men, you play a vital role, not even just in pregnancy, but in the family dynamic. Mom and dad is the core foundation here. So when we on these social platforms and we going back and forth, you're doing yourself disservice. So stop that shit. It's annoying. Okay? Mom and dad is very, very important for this union, for this pregnancy. So when it comes to pregnancy, man, we need y'all, because just like an advocacy for doulas literally advocate. They're the voice. They are literally the voice of the mom and the family's birth plan. If you don't know what a birth plan is, a birth plan is pretty much um, saying that this is what you want to happen with your birth. This is what you're allowing. This is what you're not allowing. Yo, you have the power to create whatever birth plan that you want. It is not, you don't have to confide with the hospital's way of doing things, y'all. You don't have to do that. So when it comes to birthing, like, sit down with your husband and your doula, hell, and your midwife, and have a conversation about what you want to do when it comes to birthing. Because us not having these conversations is literally part of the problem of why we have such a high maternal mortality rate and an infant rate. We don't understand that these key things are vital to our family dynamic. How the hell are we supposed to have successful births if we don't even know about a birth plan? How? How it's like we have not been taught any of this stuff. I don't know how many people I come across and I be like, I'm a birth doula. I have with postpartum, I know all this, blah, blah, blah. They be like, what's a doula? Okay. I ain't gonna judge you, but this is the problem. This should not be talking about because these are the things that we need to know. We have all of these issues that's going on within our community, but we don't want to either one, we know this information and we do nothing about it, or two, we just don't know the shit. So me as a doula, I bring awareness to this so that we can actually do something about it. And me going through my own experience when it came to birthing, things that I feel like I should have known, I did not know. Me experiencing a miscarriage was by far the craziest shit ever. And if, for y'all that don't know, my story was a little wild. It was crazy. Like I was literally walking in the hospital, leaving blood trails all the way from the beginning of the emergency room. As soon as I got in there and they had me sitting, y'all, I was literally sitting in like blood, and it was literally coming down my leg as I was walking through the dang hospital because the people at the front desk at the emergency room, they weren't being attentive. They weren't moving with urgency. And then by the time I did go to the back for them to check me, all that stuff, they still were being very negligent. Us melanated women, black women, whether you a man or a woman, when you go into these hospitals, they are not here for us. I don't care how much your doctors play the role of, oh my God, I really, really care for you so much. Like, oh my God, they don't care. They just here to get a check, pay their bills, and go on about their day. People don't even understand real, true Southern hospitality. That's what them granny midwives were. Southern hospitality. Don't nobody pay attention to. They just be thinking, oh, it's just this, Southern cute accent. Oh my God, like damsel in distress shit. No, Southern hospitality goes way beyond that. There are deeper meanings behind all of this stuff. But anywho, having that experience is what pushed me to become a doula, because I also learned, when women, and this is something I learned innately. I was just sitting here and, talking to my ancestors, and I realized having a C-section literally takes the joy away from being a motherhood. That golden hour, that having a birth and it's something about going through the vaginal canal, just going through you as a woman. It's something that's very powerful, and it needs to be felt emotionally, spiritually, physically, and spiritually. We as women need that. And then to top that off with golden hour, to have that one-on-one bond with mom, that plays a huge part in the connection between the mother and baby. So fast forward, when we as women learn that we are much more powerful when we know our body and we are connecting to our body, it changes the dynamics for sure. It changes the dynamic because the less we know about ourselves, the more we look for external things. But the more we know about ourselves, the less we are wanting external and outside sources to answer for us. So when it comes to birthing, men, you are just as important as the doula. You don't have to necessarily do the work, but you and the doula are voices for the mother. Because let me tell you, when you're going through a pregnancy and you going through the active birthing, active labor, as a mom, we don't know. Okay? We don't know. It's hot, we sweating, our body is in pain from our breast all the way down to the coochie. Like all of it is hurting. Like we in and out, like we hot, we burning up, and the last thing we need is a man around that's clueless and don't know what is going on. The last thing we need around is people that don't know how to fully support us in this time. So if you are a man and your wife or your woman, whoever is pregnant, be by her side and know what is going on. Like actively pay attention to what is happening in the process of labor and delivery and throughout the whole pregnancy. So the man, the leader, we need y'all to be just as active. You need to be talking to the doula. You need to be updated with the doula. You need to know what is going on just as much as she do, because you are the voice. If you go into a hospital for whatever reason, if you have to go into the hospital and they start hooking your wife up and they just like, oh, this is normal procedure. No, we don't want that. We didn't. That's not part of our birth plan. We doing no epidural. We doing no medicine. We doing no vaccines. We don't wash my baby after it come out, because that substance that's on that baby, you can actually massage that into the baby, and it's actually the natural vaccine. So you don't have to sit here and go get a Hep B shot for a baby. You ain't got to do that. You don't have to do none of that shit. That's the crazy part. You don't have to do none of this. So if you going into a hospital setting and they sitting here trying to induce her, and they sitting here trying to, oh, it's an emergency C-section, blah blah blah, like it's steps leading up to that we should be saying no to. But because we are uneducated, and because our men don't has been conditioned to just be there and nothing else, it makes the situation harder. And that's part of the reason why we have such a high maternal mortality rate, because we are uneducated, we don't have the right support, and this is something that we need to be talking more of, and we need to be talking more of, and we need to be doing more when it comes to this. So when I say we need more Black doulas, we need more Black midwives, this is what I mean. And if you was in my live, I think Friday, um, I was I was saying that um, there's a connection between the high maternal mortality rate and us having a lack of Black midwives, because I've heard so many stories on um, Caucasian women specifically, or Caucasian midwives leaving out um, inactive labors with women, with melanated women. And then a lot of these midwives be having high transfer rates. Hmm. Hmm. I ain't no scientist, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no rocket scientist, but some of this stuff is not math. It ain't mathing. Like for real. Like it ain't, hold on. So you have a high transfer rate. Then when we get to the hospital, we have all these other issues going on that we did not agree to. We have all of this going on, but we don't see the problem. It's a problem. And if there's a problem, there's always a fucking solution. So we need y'all to be just as active and just as, aware as doulas. So talk to your doulas. Talk to them. Hey Sugarfoot, we just talking about the importance of the male role when it comes to um birthing, and it's part of the reason why we have such a high maternal mortality rate. Um Black men really don't know how important it is to have their support when it comes to birthing and it comes to pregnancy. And it's like, for me, it's like if you are a man and you are sexually active with a woman and she's becoming pregnant, I I feel like you should want to be active throughout the entire pregnancy. You should want to know what's going on with your legacy that's growing inside her. So, the amount of men that are um not, they're not active enough. They don't care enough. But like I said, I feel like part of that is being conditioned to just, men are being told, and I can attest to that, because even with my child's father, I can remember some of my family members just telling him just to be there. Like, you just need to be there. But how? Nobody ever speaks about how. So, with that being said, you need to be talking to the doula. You need to be present at every appointment. It needs to be you, the doula, the midwife, and the mom on all the same pages. All the same pages. Y'all need to be talking together. Y'all need to be going over your birth plan together. Y'all need to be having things in order just in case of emergencies, so y'all know what to do together in case that happens. But we done got so far away from a birth plan. We done got so far away from what it's like to support each other. when it comes to this. It's crazy, but it's power in the mom and the dad being connected during this time. And for men, I feel like it's super magical for you to sit here and catch your own baby. Catch your own baby. It's something in that is very fulfilling. It's very fulfilling spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. It's very fulfilling. So yeah, be present. Be present what you do. Please be active. Even if you like, you are the leader. You the clan leader. As my grandpa would say, you the clan leader. You the clan leader. So you need to know what's going on. So put your foot down. You the man. Do you know how much power you have? How much energy you hold with you just walking into the room in a space, and you just like, okay, well, this ain't what we decided in the birth plan. Do you know how? First of all, do you know how sexy this is? Like, like what? Like just to be walking up there, like, hold up. Me and my wife, we ain't talk about that. We ain't. This ain't what we want. Like, this is what it is, and this is what it's gonna be. Like, you stop everything, okay? Like, y'all need to understand how powerful y'all are, because we can't necessarily have all of the energy to sit here and um be thinking about that. Like, we just want to get this shit over with because it's so painful. But moving on, when it comes to the journey of the pregnancy, um men need to be active, like as far as you know what I'm saying, don't be afraid to pamper her, because with this baby growing in, y'all don't understand too, and it's maybe something that men just cannot necessarily relate to. They probably can only imagine, like literally. But sometimes every woman is different, their experience is different. But in my experience, when I had my first daughter, um as my belly grew, especially in the beginning stages, I could literally feel my organs moving. And let me tell you, that shit hurt. It hurts, okay? So no wonder we be agitated and we be irritated. And then when as it gets bigger, as our belly gets bigger, excuse me, as our belly gets bigger, they start kicking and like, trying to extend the belly, they trying to put their foot all the way out here, like they trying to get out. Sometimes it's very painful. And one of the things that men can do is feed her feed her good hydrating food. you know give her some fruit, please. Give her a nice watermelon juice, you know what I'm saying? Give her some fruits. Give her some, I don't know, something healthy, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to feed a woman who is pregnant. I know we get cravings, but sometimes we got to control that shit. Like, because it's like, do you want to have a healthy pregnancy or you don't? So the ball is in your court. So, feed her things that are going to bring nutritional value, because whatever she eats, the baby eats. And, that's one of the things that women, I'm going to get on y'all butts too, maybe in the next live, but that's something we need to talk about too. What y'all eat? Oh my gosh, what y'all eat? What y'all eat when you're pregnant literally affects the outcome of your labor. So you really need to pay attention more to your diet, what you're eating. Um, yeah. So listen, read her a good story. Read her a good story. Um, read the baby a good story. Put on some get some a diffuser. Put some lavender in it, some chamomile. You can even add some citrus if you want to, bring up the energy, bring her spirit up. Only have her, like, this is the time that I feel like people should be very picky about who is around you, because at this stage, like when women become pregnant, you become very open. You become very sensitive to energy. You're very, very open with things. So for me, I really wish I would have like paid more attention to that in my pregnancy early on, but I didn't until like recently. So the next challenge I won't be around a lot of people. Like, women are extra, extra sensitive And what I mean by sensitive, women can attract a lot of things when they're pregnant. And this is like, this is definitely something that I've experienced. You literally attract a lot, whether that's good things, bad things. That's why it's important that when you are dealing with a woman who is pregnant, that you are mindful of what you're doing to her and with her at this time, because like I said, it's very sensitive. We get very emotional quickly. We are very yeah, we get overly emotional about everything because everything is hitting us all over the place. Like, people don't understand that we are literally going through a transformation the entire time. So when you're going through a transformation, you have to transform your mind, you have to transform your spirit, you have to transform your emotions, and you're being transformed physically. Y'all, it is a lot on a woman, and we are not talking about it. We are not talking about it. Of course, Sugarfoot. Of course. I don't think a lot of people think about it from this standpoint. I think a lot of people talk about pregnancy um in a physical surface level, but it's very, very much spiritual. It's very, if you're on my page, you know that I'm very spiritual. Um and this is a very sacred process. That's why I don't work with a lot of people when it comes to birthing. I ain't gonna say I don't work with a lot of people, but I'm very specific, because I let people know that this is what I do. Like, I'm spiritual. If you don't want me burning sage, you don't want me burning incense, if you don't want me listening to beautiful choir, then I'm not the doula for you. But I know some that are, that is okay with whatever you want. Like, I can give you the information. But for me, it's very something that's very sacred. It's something that should be cherished. It's something that should be celebrated. It's a celebration. You're bringing in a whole god or goddess. Like, it's a celebration to me, and this is something that I am so happy. It's a really good feeling to be um, it's really a great feeling to see a problem in our community and to be an advocate and to learn more on how I can bring changes to help my community. So when I say I advocate for birthing and I advocate for black love and black community, like, that's what I advocate for. And I do that and feel that very strongly. So I believe so soul heartedly, not wholeheartedly, but soul heartedly in my black community. And I don't see I don't see separation with us. I'm not gonna go on a gender war with nobody. Because I feel like this is where we mess up at. We be trying to do these gender wars and who do this better, who do that better. But yeah, I'm all about union. So all that gender war shit is not for me. So yeah, feed her good things, read her story, watch a movie with her, rub her feet, rub her hands, you know what I'm saying? Rub her belly, circular motions, just like that, real slow. Go back, you know what I'm saying? Really get to know your wife's body, and you can really do this. You can do this kind of if you are into like tantric or tantra. I like saying tantra. If you're into tantra and intimacy, um, you can literally sit right in front of her. You can have her sit on a couch. You can have her sit on the couch and let her come to the edge. You can have her legs open. And he sit literally in front of her, put his forehead, he can put his first eye on her belly, and he can literally connect to her just like that. Just like that. And you can do that with your wife. I like to say wife because I like to speak things into existence. Okay. We're talking about black love. Okay, so we're gonna encourage that. Okay, put that out there in the universe. So you can actually connect there, and you can have her take deep breaths. It's a fruit fly. Oh my gosh, those things are so annoying. And you can literally do that. It's simple. You can sit with her in lotus position. If you don't know what that is, that's crisscross applesauce. Y'all like to put it like that. God dang. So you can do that, and y'all both can come in front, come forward to each other. So y'all will be facing literally face to face, and you can just literally breathe together while y'all both touch on the belly. So as she exhale, he inhales. As he exhale, it's literally like a flow. So it's, and y'all are literally exchanging energy. Y'all are keeping that vibration high because a woman is at a very high vibration when she is pregnant. So when you're cultivating that energy and you're also men affirm her during this process. So as you breathe, tell her, I affirm you love, I affirm you safety, I affirm you security, I affirm you peace throughout this pregnancy. Tell her things that make her spirit feel good. Because when you make her feel good or allow her to feel good, the baby feels good. And people don't understand that the child's development is really based off of the nerves and the emotions. Nerves and emotions. Like seriously, that's we gotta understand that. So take heed to that. Speak life into her. Speak life into her every day. And especially in postpartum. And we're gonna talk about that next. So same men stay on the same page as women. I mean, stay on the same page as the doula, the midwife. Y'all, when you first get a doula, get the doula, the midwife, and the mom and the dad together, so y'all can be on one page. So that's number one. Number two, be active. Feed her good things, whether that's food. Feed her good mentally, feed her good spiritually, feed her good physically. So, that she feels secure in herself. Because a lot of women, I've heard too many stories where a lot of women feel alone and they feel neglected during their pregnancy. And I've even felt like that before. So I know how it goes. So be more active and attentive that way. So postpartum is where we as women, especially black women, we have the most issues at, whether it's infant mortality or if it's just the death of women in that fourth trimester. And one of the things that men can really do is, I'm even going this part, I'm going to say men, the man, the leader, excuse me, the man, the leader, um, and the family and close friends. Your support is so important in that stage. Is not even funny because um, the fourth trimester, that postpartum is for the mother. It's not necessarily for the baby, because if the mom is okay and taken care of, the baby's gonna automatically be the baby gonna be okay. I'm just gonna say that shit. The baby is going to be fine. It is the mother who has to align herself with what just happened. And it took almost a damn year for a woman to have a baby. That means from the time of conceiving, the whole journey, and then having the baby. That fourth quarter, she's not even done yet. Her body has not come together. But yeah, so this thing is getting on my nerves. Okay. But anywho, um dang, that just threw me off. Yeah, okay. Anywho, when that fourth quarter, that fourth trimester is that is very important for you to support her. Meaning, you're not just coming over there to hold the baby and be like, "Oh, the baby's so cute. Let me get some kisses." Stop kissing everybody. Stop kissing everybody's baby, and stop allowing people to come over and kiss your baby. You don't know where these people mouth been. You don't know what they be eating. You don't know what they been doing. You don't know none of that. So stop letting people come over and kiss on your baby. Stop just inviting anybody into your energy, and they ain't even checked on you the entire pregnancy, but they there when your baby here because their baby's so cute. Okay? No. Stop doing that. I think we be too nice and too lenient on who we let into the space of our children. So when it comes to the postpartum stage, if you're going to help, be active. The mother needs to rest. She should be on bed rest. Because if a woman move around too much, in the fourth trimester, her uterus can literally come out, and somebody has to push that shit back in and put it where it need to be. She can have so much bleed. She can have bleeding. You know what I'm saying? She can have so many like reproductive issues, and we don't know that that shit is just it's fresh. Your tissues are still soft. Your tissues are still soft, so anything can happen. You should be assisting. Hold on, y'all. You should be assisting because I'm doing something. Okay, they coming. They doing. Mhm. Okay. Okay. They at the pool. Okay. I'll call her and tell her. Oh, that was Granny. Say hello to Granny, y'all. But anywho, I'll start packing in a minute. But like I was saying, fourth trimester, the mother should be resting. It's no way, it's no, unless a mother just really, really has to, which 9 times out of 10, we really be having to have to because we don't have that support there. And that's why a woman is not supposed to be alone in her postpartum stages. And this is really more so emotionally. And we need more postpartum doulas. You know, postpartum doulas, they don't necessarily deal with the birth, but they more so deal with the aftercare. Her being able to have certain meals that's bringing nourishment to her body because when she just went through the birthing process, she just lost so much of her vitamins and minerals. So the point of a postpartum doula is to help her bring that nourishment back to her body. So you can make her meals, and we preferably would do like soups and porridges, because you know your most of your vitamins and minerals are in soups like your veggies. So you know you can make her some soups, porridge. You can even get her drinking these things if she don't want to necessarily eat them, but you can get her some teas, things like that to help her, recover. People don't understand recovery. Recovery is, that's not a it takes a lot to recover because you're not just recovering physically, but you're recovering mentally and spiritually. And sometimes it can take us a minute to grasp everything that just happened because it happens so fast. So when it comes to postpartum, like make sure that if you're going to be around women who are dealing with postpartum, or who is in that fourth trimester, that postpartum, make sure that you're coming up. Don't even call, just come up there. I'm telling you, we could use the help. As women, we could use that help. So, just go up there, make sure the mom can go walk her to the bathroom, help her go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Help her pick out clothes for the next few days. So she ain't gotta go through the drawers looking for stuff, scattering things. Help her pick these out. Help her meal plan. Help her get these baby stuff together. You know what I mean? Help her. Like we don't want to help. That's the weirdest thing. We don't want to help each other unless it's beneficial. So when it comes to postpartum, help her in every way possible. Even if it's something as small as you coming over for 5 or 10 minutes and you go and you put some lavender on these oil on a diffuser so you can, help her relax. Help with the aroma in here because it's been chaotic. Help her get her mind together because it really is, it does take a lot. So I'm gonna have to cut this short, unfortunately, because apparently we gotta go. I'm so glad because I'm tired of being in this hotel. So yeah, so I'm gonna probably come back tomorrow or later on today, probably tomorrow because we gotta move all this stuff. So I'm gonna touch up on this tomorrow. I'm gonna just say tomorrow all this stuff. So I'm gonna touch up on this tomorrow. I'm gonna just say tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna touch up on this tomorrow, and we're gonna continue to talk about this because I'm not done. I got stuff to do, so y'all lucky. But but yeah, we're gonna talk more about this postpartum, because we really need to bring awareness to that more often, because that is where we are losing women and we're losing more babies during that stage. So the more people know, the more help we can get. So with that being said, family, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this live short, unfortunately. Um, yeah, and if you missed it and you want to watch it, I'm gonna upload it onto my YouTube channel. My YouTube is the same name as my TikTok, my Instagram. It's all the same. So yeah, so make sure you subscribe. But yeah, we're gonna talk about this a little later. But yeah, make sure you praying. Make sure you affirming yourself. Make sure you staying hydrated. Make sure you loving yourself. Make sure you supporting each other. So with that being said, I'm out, family.